everyone is really helpful and understanding.
They're always ready to listen to our opinions, and they have implicit faith in what we want to do.
In particular, working with firefish means fun.
I really enjoyed working with firefish internationally because they're very relaxed. It's a very fun, relaxed company.
I've always found firefish, once they know that you can deliver the goods, they trust your judgment. And believe you me, this is quite an awesome responsibility. It makes us feel like we should deliver our best.
I think Firefish's secret recipe for their success in international research is the trust and the loyalty they have in their local research partners.
I remember most as the debriefing and briefing sections, and everyone was talking like friends, which is really helpful because I can share what I want to say, so we can make sure on the same path.
And although objectives are set at the beginning of the research and they're very clear, there's always a flexibility to get around to them. So the nuances of the country are always taken into consideration, which makes it obviously a great way to get to results. Understanding, being flexible and qualitative is one of the most important things you need.
My understanding is that Firefish is really trying to get behind and beyond the cultural differences when it comes to focus groups.
The big difference with Firefish is their flexibility and their innovative techniques. That means that we use many different approaches to one research. We use blogs, we use filming, we use the traditional focus groups, and we use in-depth interviews with experts. And using all these techniques to get to one objective, obviously you have different views of different people pulling in to get a final result.
I think they're quite different from our local partners or local clients because they like to make changes frequently. But changes is positive in this way because doing qualitative research, we need to make changes because we can't tell what the respondent is going to say. So, but Firefish can do so, can make changes accordingly.
Well, the difference in Firefish is about the professional team they have. The team that is made up of people that have worked in different places in different countries. They've lived there. They know the difference in situations, and they're willing to adjust to the country. So obviously the richness in the team makes a big difference.
The Firefish guys never get tired of discussing findings with us. They really are interested in our local insights. And when we see their final debrief presentations, we see that the local results, especially the German results, then are really covered. They never get tired of discussing. And what is really important in comparison to other partners we work with, they don't save money. High quality research is expensive, but they always demand extensive reports. And our local insight is needed then.
When I heard that Bob Cook was having a detergent group in London and he kind of planted someone in dirty, smelly clothes to sit in the same group just because he wanted to get a reaction from the other people. I mean, these are fun things to do, and that's what I would love to see in my field of market research.
Breakthrough techniques, different things, different approaches. So respondents felt extremely interested and wanted to participate, willing to give more of themselves. And that obviously makes for richer qualitative research. It gives you more depth to what you're studying.
In Germany at least. And they're never tired of asking us questions, getting our insights. And sometimes it can be really demanding, especially after 4 or 5 hours of groups where you're a bit knackered, and still, especially Susan, knows how to torture you and discuss findings. But we appreciate it very much because we have the feeling then that our work is really useful.
やっぱり普段使うものは全て集約されてる、そういうマルチツール。
で宝箱っていう言葉を思いつきました。
كان اجتماعية.
احنا الاول جبنا الشخص اللي
لمسة.
يشيل هذا التليفون، ايوه الشخص اللي يشيل هذا التليفون شو يقول عنه؟
اتيكيت من يحب الكشف.
شخص يحب الكشف. خلونا مرة شاب ولا بنت يكون؟
لا شباب هاي
لا زينة سكسي.
Depuis toujours. C'est dur de trouver quelqu'un qui connaît pas l'hiver.
Oui, on va imaginer un extra.
Innovante mais sécurisante.
Voilà. Статус просто вот от марки зависит, да?
Бренд.
А еще чего не так?
Бренд, цена, распространенность. Вот там вот.
Ага, цена должна быть, я так понимаю, минимальная.
この持ち運べる部分だけを持ってった感じがして、使いたいなと思いました。
هنا يعبر كيف
يعبر عن شخصيتك. مثلا إذا خذيتي من موبايل آخر موديل في تقنيات جديدة في أشياء جديدة يعني أنت عارفة شو فيه شو ما فيه ما بتاخذين التليفون شي بس.
Классический стальной корпус красочный там так далее. Очень красочно здесь все написано, очень, да? По-живому. По-живому написано.
Well, I think the key strength is they are willing to listen to us as local partners. They are very attentive.
I think it would be the tolerance for a different point of view, especially when it comes to India. Firefish, in my opinion, never tries to force fit a response into some kind of a ready grid of a global analysis.
It's just incredible how good and well they are prepared when it comes to the conduct of their projects. Even in the beginning, when we are receiving samples, methodologies, everything is really carefully thought through. And in comparison to other agencies, it's a back and forth, and we have to ask, what do you want? Why do you want that? It's never the case with Firefish, because it's really everything thought through, and which makes a project, of course, run much more smoothly and safer.
The use of their filming crew. Again, I have never had this with other partners I've worked with. Introducing the film, making it real, even for me as a researcher, receiving these tapes and receiving the slice of life that other people give me, gives me such a different approach to what they're doing, because people actually are totally disinhibited by what they're doing, and they give us the true meaning of who they are, what they're doing, and why they're doing it.
It's just incredible how good and well organized they are. And when it comes to briefings, for example, they turn up 4 or 5 hours before the first group is scheduled, because they really want to make sure that you have all the background, that you know everything about the project. There are quite a lot of agency clients of ours who, I don't know why, they save money, but they just brief us over the phone, and they just send emails, and when it comes to groups, there are lots of information that are missing. There's no information missing when we are working with Firefish.
Here we are constantly living with lots of points of view simultaneously, and I'm sure this is nothing just to do with India. When you're dealing on a global project, I think it's this ease of living or blurring the edges that stands one in good stead, and Firefish does it very well. I again think it's because Jem has spent a lot of time in India that he's familiar with this.
The strengths are definitely in the team. You have different nationalities, you have people living and working abroad that come into this team and give the team richness and fullness. And obviously when you work with somebody who's international, who's worked and lived in different countries, they can see different approaches. So it's very interesting and very easy to adapt and adjust, which is what qualitative research is all about.
it's really important to have localization for doing international research. Because you know, an execution may be very successful in Europe, but it might not be the case in Hong Kong because we're sharing different cultures and stuff like that. So I think the localization is the winning part of firefish.
Faccio vedere il mio amico designer Max che vi farà vedere una magia.
Sobre todo estamos enclavados en la Condesa, que es clave en la vida nocturna en México.
Buena música y puedes platicar con tu pareja, con algunos amigos, se puede escuchar a la gente. Buena variedad de cócteles, está bien.
Второй мировой войны. Предатель властов был предателем, предал свой народ.
日本対ニュージーランド戦ということで渋谷のスポーツワールドカフェに
Well, we've conducted a few home depth interviews and observation studies together. It's always fun giving instructions to the fishes, as you guys call yourselves, for the do's and don'ts when you get into Indian homes. Guys, you got to leave your shoes outside, and when you meet a lady, do a namaste, don't shake hands with her, you're not supposed to touch her, you know. And if she offers you water, you guys had better drink it and stop thinking of typhoid, jaundice and whatnot. And you find these guys, you know, gamely following instructions. Of course, we at ProAct are often just pulling your leg. Just at the nth moment, we stop you and say, nah, you can drink your mineral water.
I heard from my colleague Nigel, Bob is trying to take had done a day trip from London to Seoul, which is quite crazy. But I think it saves a lot of time and avoiding jet lag. I think I should try that to do so next time.
Well, one of the best experiences was actually to interview one of the top pop stars in Mexico. Obviously, working in research, we always talk to people who are common people, or we're getting to leading edge, but never to very famous people. And that was just great to be given the experience to work with as a professional interviewer was just wonderful.